On Inside Washington.
This is the CBS Evening News. Bob Schieffer reporting. Good evening. Yasser Arafat showed up today at the site of the first talks between the PLO and the United States. He said while he'll do his best, he cannot guarantee that certain PLO factions won't resort to terrorism. Arafat himself might be an inviting target now more than ever, as Doug Tennell reports.
When Yasser Arafat surfaced in Tunis today amid a round of talks with his advisors, he was toting an automatic pistol in his hand. Security has been tightened around the chairman of the PLO since his appearance in Geneva led to talks with the U.S. government. The guards at PLO offices here are a little jumpier than usual because the PLO believes Arafat may now be in greater danger than ever from those who might like to stop the U.S.-PLO dialogue in its tracks. U.S. embassies in some cities, like the one here in Tunis, have reportedly received a new security alert. Ironically, terrorism was the first item on America's agenda for Friday's talks with the PLO. It was a subject that Arafat today said should be taken up with Israelis as well as Palestinians.
I would like those who used to speak a lot about terrorism, they have to remember state terrorism, which is still continuing.
Ever since America agreed to a dialogue, PLO officials have been in nearly non-stop motion, crowding flights to and from Tunis to advise and consult behind the scenes on what the talks with the United States should set as goals.
I think that the whole issue of terrorism could be discussed, but this is not a dialogue about terrorism. It is dialogue about peace in the Middle East.
We want peace, but we don't want imposed peace. They have their dignity, we have our dignity.
The PLO hopes the talks with America will set in motion preparations for an international conference on the Middle East under UN auspices, and they are looking for movement in that direction soon. In the last few days, Arafat's itinerary has taken him to Switzerland, East Germany, Romania, and now Tunisia. A trip to Austria is scheduled soon. The impression here is that the PLO's diplomatic initiative is gaining momentum, and Arafat wants to keep it that way. Doug Tennell, CBS News, Tunis.
In Damascus, an alliance of Syrian-backed anti-Arafat Palestinian guerrilla groups said today that they will set up a new PLO leadership. They accused Arafat of abandoning the PLO's original commitment to armed struggle. In his first public comment, Israeli Prime Minister Shamir said today the U.S. decision to open talks with the PLO was shocking and painful. He said Israel is preparing a new peace initiative of its own, but he did not elaborate. The start of talks between Washington and the PLO has loosened the grip of despair in the crowded Palestinian refugee camps. And Alan Pizzi now with more on that.
Vajis al-Sulaibi has been in exile for 21 years. The breakthrough has given him hope that he will lead his children from the refugee camp where they were born to what he tells them is their true home, Palestine.
Before I was only counting on war and expecting that only war could get me back to my country. Now I hope for the best.
Nearly 2.5 million Palestinians are officially refugees. A third of them live in camps. Until now, their chances of returning home seem to many to be as rare as green grass here. Mohammed Milham, a former West Bank mayor, was exiled into Lebanon in the middle of the night and told, "Go see Arafat." He says Geneva proved that to be good advice.
I am more happy than any other time in the past. I feel that in my lifetime, I may be able to go back home and live in peace.
The image of Arafat in Geneva and what it means to the Palestinian future has become the primary topic of conversation in the refugee camps. As high as hopes are that this time, maybe the exiles can go home, there is also a deep-seated fear that once again radicals may destroy the dream. That the Palestinian exiles can still hope after so many years of frustration is testament to a dream Mohammed Milham summed up this way. Home is sweet, he said, and to be back home is a human right. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, Bekaa refugee camp, Jordan.
Israeli soldiers reportedly wounded at least 18 Palestinians today in the occupied territories. It happened during a general strike called to protest the killing of 5 Palestinians yesterday. In southern Lebanon, Shiite Amal militiamen today rescued 3 Irish UN peacekeeping soldiers who were kidnapped yesterday by Iranian-backed fundamentalists. The 3 were unhurt. Coming up next on tonight's CBS Evening News, beating the bushes for a job in the new administration. And later, a word from Bruce Morton. The word is 9 letters long, and it begins with a C.
You can search, but there's only one place you'll find all these perfect Kenmore gifts, all under $20. Just choose. They're only $19.99 each. Find these and a whole lot more, only at Sears.
For Vanish Drop-Ins, the Bull Brothers.
I pop in Vanish Drop-Ins and look so clean. So drop in Vanish Drop-Ins.
Vanish Drop-Ins are here. Just drop one in the tank to help keep your bowl looking clean and smelling fresh for weeks. And since drop-ins dissolve completely, you never touch them again. What could be easier?
So drop in Vanish Drop-Ins.
And when you brush, try Dual Action Liquid Vanish. It freshens the bathroom and it out-cleans Lysol on tough rust stains below the waterline. Liquid Vanish makes your toilet sing.
If you thought you had to give up comfort to get a close shave, Norelco says, think again. Their revolutionary shaving system shaves skin close in a way that's incredibly comfortable. As the hair enters the chamber, the patented lift and cut system lifts each hair and holds it a split second before a blade cuts it, so it's possible to shave skin close without the blades even touching the skin. The lift and cut shaving system from Norelco. We made close comfortable.
This diaper has a thin, powerful seal, but it's not on his mask. It's on his dentures. A seal so thin, so powerful, that more than any ordinary adhesive, Extra Hold Fast Teeth holds closer to real.
President Reagan took a parting shot at Congress today, blaming it for the budget deficit. In his radio address, the president promised that when he leaves office, he will campaign for budget reform, including a balanced budget constitutional amendment. When Mr. Reagan leaves Washington in 5 weeks, a lot of federal employees will be going with him. And there is a big battle going on, of course, for their jobs. A report from Deborah Potter.
More than 2,000 top government employees may get the word as early as next week. Submit your resignations. You could be replaced. Their jobs, all political appointments, are suddenly in great demand.
In the last year that I was here, we had a very difficult time filling the jobs in this office, basically because of the uncertainty that was involved. But right now, everybody and their dog would like to come into the government.
At the Energy Department alone, more than a dozen senior jobs are up for grabs, along with scores of second-tier positions. Total, 130. That's just at one of the 14 cabinet departments. And there are dozens of other agencies with jobs the president can fill, more than 5,000 in all. While the hopeful bring their resumes to transition headquarters, there are high-powered appointees now in office who are on tenterhooks all over Washington. Many want to keep their jobs. After all, the Republicans are staying in power. But every new president wants his own team, and wholesale changes are expected.
You've got to bring people in not only who are competent, but who share your outlook and are committed to your campaign positions. Otherwise, they'll be undercutting you at every turn.
Still, this transition is a friendly takeover. Bush aides say it could be months before their new team is fully in place, and mass unemployment will not strike the nation's capital on January 20th. But it will strike this assistant secretary. His job is definitely available.
I think that we do need some fresh blood, some fresh ideas, and some really new enthusiasm. I'm tired. I've been here 8 years, and I need to do something else.
And what does it take to re-energize a burned-out bureaucrat? Certainly not lobbying or practicing law. Garish plans to open a brewery. That's right, a brewery. Deborah Potter, CBS News, Washington.
The Navy commissioned a new submarine today in New London, Connecticut. The Tennessee is the first sub built to carry the multi-warhead Trident II nuclear missile. About 150 peace activists demonstrated against what they call the death of hope and justice. A town in Iowa is fighting for its life tonight. It is a farm town trying to keep from becoming a ghost town. That report from Betsy Aaron.
Wait, hand these to Daddy, Aaron. It's moving in day in Rolfe, Iowa for the Debuse family of Waterbury, Connecticut.
We decided to come to a smaller town and just live and be happy.
Can you carry these? Don't step on the plates. But not just any small town. The Debuses picked Rolfe because of a unique program the town started last spring. Worried about its declining population, Ralph is now offering prospective residents a free building lot, a low-interest building loan at 8.8%, $1,200 plus the use of the town's swimming pool and golf course for a year.
There was the farmhouse that we always wanted, except it was in Iowa, and we just cracked up. It was too good to be true for a family of 4.
So far, over 1,000 letters have been sent to Rolf asking about the program.
We're not offering a free ride. We're expecting these people to contribute to the community, and they will.
Rolf is a proud place, 125-year-old farming town. Having survived the bankrupting years of the early 80s, it was time to boost the population of 700 in order to keep the school open and to create some new jobs.
Of course, it takes a little hard work and people working together, but that's exactly what you'll find in Rolf. Hardworking, dedicated people to help your business flourish.
You have to promote yourself. You have to sell yourself. You have to market yourself in order to get ahead.
So far, 7 families have moved in. And even though there is worry by some locals about a tight job market, the city administrator is hoping for more arrivals.
We would do just about anything we could to make you feel at home and to help your business grow.
The Debuses believe that after being here for just 2 days.
We're going to stay.
We're staying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we invite you to get away from the traffic and hectic pace and move to where the air is fresh and clean.
The goal is to convince close to 300 people to move into town. 1,000 citizens would definitely keep Rolf on the map.
Why don't you come to Rolf, the heart of the heartland?
Betsy Aaron, CBS News, Rolf, Iowa.
And when we come back, the latest on the Armenian earthquake disaster. And we'll talk with a U.S. relief official just back from the region.
That'll be a charge. We interrupt this purchase for a reminder. The Discover card actually pays you cash back for every charge. It pays to Discover.
Tony, what are you eating now? Fruitful Brand?
Yeah, it's peaches and raisins.
Hey, Tony, that looks good.
It is. It's Fruitful Brand. It's apples and dates.
You just said it was peaches and raisins.
Well, it was.
Don't lie to your father.
Well, now it's raisins, apples, and dates.
Didn't you just tell your mother?
Hey, it is apples and dates.
Give me the box, Rosa. I'll decide.
Only Fruitful Brand has so many fruits, you get a different fruitful combination in every bite.
It's peaches, raisins, and dates.
So we change.
Kellogg's Fruitful Brand. It's never the same bite twice.
Nearly 1/3 of the smoke detectors in American homes are not working because of dead or missing batteries. In a fire, they'd be worthless. That's why First Alert created the new light test smoke detector. No smoke detector you can buy is easier to test. You don't even have to stand up. Just wave a flashlight at the gold button, and you know it's working. The new light test smoke detector. Only First Alert gives you this extra protection.
Sure, doctor said it's heartburn.
Heartburn and high blood pressure. Wants him to cut out salt.
For heartburn, take sodium-free Riopan Plus 2. It starts neutralizing acid in 10 seconds.
Feeling better, Dad?
Mm-hmm. Riopan Plus 2, sodium-free, works fast.
Soviet officials found a 62-year-old woman alive in the rubble of a collapsed building in the town of Leninakan today. Even so, hope is fading that anyone else will be found alive, and search efforts are being scaled back in the earthquake area. Anthony Mason reports.
At Yerevan Airport today, a squad of French rescue workers fell in place to head back to Paris. Another signal that 10 days after the earthquake, the search for survivors is all but over. American and Austrian teams were also preparing to head home, and Red Cross officials today said emergency squads were no longer needed in Armenia.
While most of the search and rescue teams are leaving, international relief flights continue to arrive. Their job is just beginning.
A U.S. C-135 out of Andrews Air Force Base this afternoon delivered a cargo of tents, plastic sheeting, and household goods destined for the small villages shaken by the quake.
We think that there's a particularly large need in the rural areas where the destruction seems to be virtually 100%.
The relief effort continues to inspire unprecedented cooperation between previously suspicious enemies. Soviet soldiers unloaded the American supply plane today. While in an Armenian hospital, a group of American doctors took over 4 operating rooms and began cleaning the wounds of a young Armenian woman whose leg was torn in the earthquake.
There's a partial amputation of the toe.
The medical team of orthopedists out of San Diego will help heal the arms and legs that were shattered when the buildings fell. But there's nothing that doctors can do for the hundreds of thousands of homeless who still wander stunned in the streets of Leninakan and Spitak. These are the spiritually wounded, the relatives of the 55,000 killed in the earthquake. They've only just begun to bury their dead. Then somehow they must rebuild their families and their lives. Anthony Mason, CBS News, Yerevan, Soviet Armenia.
Julia Taft, an official of the U.S. Agency for International Development, is the subject of our Washington Notebook interview tonight. She's just back from the disaster area and told us earlier this afternoon about the almost incomprehensible scene she saw along the road to Leninakan.
For several miles outside the city, we began to see busloads of people with their faces drawn, looking like people out of the grapes of wrath, all staring into space. These were relatives going to retrieve their family possessions and to seek their own relatives. That was on one side of the street. On the other side of the highway were trucks full of empty coffins going to be delivered. It took us 2 hours from the edge of town to get into the city center where the coordination center was, and all along the way one saw families huddled next to fires, freezing. I mean, it was quite cold, waiting for information, taking care of their possessions. People were staring into space in total dazes, and this was virtually all over the city wherever there had been a large building.
What happens now? At what stage would you put all of this in?
Well, I think the search and rescue phase is pretty much winding down. This is where there is a prospect of finding live bodies. There will be continued operations, as I understand it, to try to extract the dead people from the rubble, because so many of the relatives are still sitting by fires near the heaps that were their homes, hoping to hear a voice or hoping to be able to dig out the bodies. It's very emotional, and I think that the authorities don't want to immediately remove them all. And yet evacuations are taking place for those who are ready to go and able to go. And then we're in a period of both dealing with those displaced persons who've been moved to other locations, giving them shelter and food and assistance. And that's the second phase. The final phase is total reconstruction.
Julia Taft of the Agency for International Development. Allowing foreign rescue teams into the Soviet Union would have been unheard of a few years ago, but so too would factual news reports of the disaster. As we hear now from Jonathan Sanders, that too is changing.
It's Glasnost gone wild. With the Armenian earthquake, the freer Soviet press finally has a big story. No longer is the press content simply to parrot the party line. It is now harshly critical of the government's rescue effort. We were completely unprepared for this disaster, a Soviet TV reporter says in a broadcast from Armenia. Pravda reports incidents of looting, people stealing relief supplies. Others tell how incompetence keeps victims living on the streets. It's negative, and people like it.
They're reporting what's really going on there, the real stuff.
Besides muckraking, television and newspapers are giving the Soviet people something completely new. Facts, body counts, numbers of homeless.
Some years ago, you would have no any idea what plane has crashed, where, why, how many people were killed. People are hungry for news.
Glasnost has whetted people's appetites.
And let's have even more negative, more positive. Let them tell us everything, and let the people themselves decide.
And what if Brezhnev came back and saw this Glasnost gone wild?
Heart attack, immediately.
And Stalin?
Oh, I can't imagine.
But there's no question, Glasnost does make a difference. One Muscovite explained he first read about a 1948 earthquake 10 years later. Now every 10 minutes, it seems, there's more real news about the Armenian disaster. Jonathan Sanders, CBS News, Moscow.
That'll be a charge. We interrupt this purchase for a reminder. The Discover card actually pays you cash back for every charge.
That's a great idea.
Don't forget, Santa.
It pays to Discover.
Hello, darling. My gift philosophy is nothing but the best. In slippers, nothing but wonderful deer foams. They come with ultra cushy foam that makes luxurious love to your feet. And those darlings at Deer Foams are giving away these adorable free teddy bears with every pair of comfort stretch. Remember, give nothing but the best. Deer Foams, darling.
You disappoint me. You are only eating Kellogg's Strawberry Squares to get that sweet strawberry in the middle. You're so superficial. I mean, there's no salt, no fat. Skipping stuff like that makes sense for your heart. You could eat squares for that. But no, you're just going to go right on eating them for the taste. Well, tell me I'm wrong. I thought so.
Kellogg's Squares. No salt, no fat. And now in blueberry.
Oh, blueberry.
Enjoy them to your heart's content.
You can search, but there's only one place you'll find all these perfect Kenmore gifts, all under $20. Just choose. They're only $19.99 each. Find these and a whole lot more, only at Sears.
There was some trouble overnight at a nuclear power plant in Russellville, Arkansas. More than 5,000 gallons of radioactive water leaked from the emergency cooling system. The leak was contained within the building and it was stopped in about 5 hours. There were no injuries. A Wisconsin city is also having problems with radioactive water, but in this case it is the drinking water. Gary Reeves with that report.
There was a time when Waukesha, Wisconsin was known as Spring City, USA. Home of the White Rock bottled water that was to the world what Perrier is today. 100 years ago, dozens of mineral springs made Waukesha one of the nation's top resorts.
Abraham Lincoln's widow came in the early 1870s. President Grant was in the county. There were many famous people.
But today, Mary Burns, who lives here, won't drink Waukesha water. She brings hers in from Milwaukee because the local water is radioactive.
Radium is a known human carcinogen, and in small children, when radium is ingested, it does go to the bones.
The town gets its water from deep wells that have twice as much cancer-causing radium as the Environmental Protection Agency will allow, so much that an expensive cleanup has been ordered.
Our main concern is the fact that radium does pose a risk in drinking water, that the risk for that community does not appear to be going away.
Since no one seems to have gotten sick from Waukesha water, the town's old-timers are skeptical.
We can't understand this at all. We figure it's just a bunch of bureaucrats trying to tell us how to live.
I figure that if it hasn't bothered me up to now, it isn't going to bother me after either.
And at least part of the scientific community agrees.
It's certainly not something for a given individual to worry about.
In many households, like the Zivneys, the biggest worry is not the radium in the water, but that removing it may triple their water bill.
I think the city could spend the money on something else, or just this city could stand to not spend money for a while.
But not spending is not a choice. The Clean Water Act is law, and the law says the water that was good enough for Ulysses S. Grant just isn't good enough anymore. Gary Reeves, CBS News, Waukesha, Wisconsin.
That'll be a charge. We interrupt this purchase for a reminder.
Don't forget, Santa.
'Tis the season to be choosy.
La 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 la.
That's it. So choose the card that actually pays you cash back for every charge. The Discover card.
That's a great idea.
You sure know how to pick them. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back.
Ready?
In a minute, honey.
It's nice to be noticed for what you wear and how you look. And if you wear dentures, it's nice to know Efferdent freshens up dentures and cleans away stains so well. With Efferdent, all they'll notice is you.
Hemorrhoids. They hurt, burn, and swell. Over the years, more doctors have recommended Anusol than Preparation H to relieve the hurting. Anusol is the word to remember for relief.
You've never seen a shaver like this before. It's the new 3M surgical clipper by Remington. Hospitals are now using it, replacing blades to shave patients for surgery safely and comfortably. And you can benefit from this advanced technology by using the Remington Microscreen Rechargeable. It shaves as close as a blade or your money back. And the Lady Remington Rechargeable also shaves without a cord. Now, lowest price ever on Remington Microscreen Rechargeable.
Finally tonight, the making of an American institution, the crossword puzzle. The first one was published in the New York Sunday World, December of 1913. So now it's celebrating its diamond anniversary, and Bruce Morton reports.
Millions of us do them every day, in groups at conventions, by ourselves at work, or on the train. The crossword puzzle will be 75 years old this coming week, and it's still full of those annoying little words.
I come across another one, feudal serf. And the answer was Esne, E-S-N-E. Well, I really had a humbling experience, to tell you the truth.
But that was 50 years ago. Eugene Maleska is now the crossword puzzle editor for the New York Times, working from his Wareham, Massachusetts home in a clutter of dictionaries and his own notebooks built up over 40 years. 3-letter words in one, 5-letter words in another, 15 definitions of the word three.
Number of Cole's fiddlers, 3. Petite-sized dress. Kipling's soldiers blank, 3.
Maleska showed us how to make a puzzle. The black squares have to be symmetrical, he said, and it works best when the words alternate vowels and consonants.
One of our favorite animals in crossword puzzles is the tapir, T-A-P-I-R. So again, here you have consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel.
The art, Maleska says, is in the definition.
You can make the puzzle hard or easy depending upon what your definitions. You take the word camel, for example. If you had an Arab's steed or something like that, but suppose I put Hagin in the puzzle as definition for camel.
You'd stop me.
Yeah.
Maleska can create a New York Times Sunday puzzle in about 4 hours, faster than a lot of people can solve it. But Doug Hoylman wouldn't take that long. He is the national crossword puzzle champ. He won a tournament, seen here devouring the Washington Post puzzle. 51 across, approving reception, 47 down on the go. He's writing faster than I can read, but take heart, hackers, he makes a mistake. What's the lure of the puzzle?
It's a problem that has a nice, neat solution. In real life, we're always confronted with problems that don't have an obvious or don't have a neat solution.
I think one of the main reasons is escape. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. If you don't make it, well, you didn't lose anything because nobody knows you didn't finish it. Here I saw these squares, white squares, begging to be filled in by me, and I figured, well, I'll try it, see if I can do it.
Finally, puzzle fans, how about this? A 7-letter word, definition, Bruce Morton, CBS News, Washington. You got it?
That's the news. Susan Spencer will be here tomorrow. Later tonight on West 57th, a profile of the late singer and composer Roy Orbison. I'm Bob Schieffer, CBS News, New York. Good night.
This is CBS.